Hey Rick,
Hey Megan, how you doing?
kitchen's looking good. I see you've got some tile on the walls. That looks
Yeah, it's
nice.
got some backsplash going on, and I'm not quite done with that. And got the fireplace done, and one step at a time for 2 years.
I was gonna say one step every 6 weeks at your house.
About every 3 or 4 months, they come in and work on something, come back in 4 months.
Oh my gosh,
Feels that way
unbelievable.
anyway. I
All right.
know. Well,
Well,
it's
when
getting
when
there.
it's done, you have to give us all a tour.
We'll do a tour. I'll have to get my camera skills in
Yeah,
order though, huh?
yeah. Rick just tried to give me a tour, and he is a great loan officer, but would make a terrible realtor. That's okay,
Not
Rick.
good.
No, it's okay. We forgive you.
I,
Okay,
I didn't do
let's
well in
go.
video school either.
I'm at
Anyway.
um I'm at a new listing I have in Anaheim today. And at the end of our talk, I'm going to give everybody a little tour. But we're going to talk about the California Dream for All. What is it? How does it work? Have they done this before last year?
Mhm.
And how do we set up for success? Just give us the whole skinny on it.
Yeah, it's a great program, but man, we got to be very, very careful on this one. So let's look at the history. Last year was a different, they changed the process this year because last year it was kind of a mess, to be honest with you. So last year they released $500 million for this program.
And they means the state of California.
But I'm sorry. Yes, the state of California
Okay.
released $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
And so the program is 20%. You can use 20% of the sales price as down payment and closing cost money. So it's a shared appreciation program. It's a very, very cool program. So they had $500 million released last year in the state of California. So the idea was they release the money, you go out and find a house, make an offer, then you submit it to CalHFA and register the loan for the money. Sounds great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that $500 million went was all gone in about 7 days.
It was almost as fast
It was gone.
as a
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's concert tickets. That's basically that's how
Exactly.
fast it went. Five
Very
hundred
fast.
million dollars
Gone.
gone.
Yeah. And so it was disappointing because we had a lot of buyers that say, hey, I want to do the program, get an application in. And then they release the program, go look at a house, and a week later it's gone.
Right.
So it didn't work out for a lot of people. So it's different this time. They're going to what they call a lottery program, but there's also some changes to the program. Okay. So this time around, they're releasing $250 million. Not quite as much, but they've also given it more restrictions. And so what they're saying is that it's for first generational buyers or first generation buyers. So what does that mean? Well, we know that you have to be a first time buyer to qualify to begin with. And so the definition of a first time buyer is you cannot have owned a home in the previous 3 years. Not a big deal. The added feature, though, to make it a generational buyer is that the parents cannot own a home currently. So if you have a husband and wife buying a house, if one of those parents own a home, they are not eligible for the property for the program. Kind of crazy, right? So it's a generational thing, which is kind of a weird twist, I think.
I think that's a little bit weird.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
I was
So if they,
when I was in early childhood education many
Mhm.
moons ago, there was a whole movement on what you how do I say this? What you have, who's your family? Like your family's not
Mhm.
necessarily your blood, like you could have been raised with somebody else. That's your family. So it's just kind of weird
Right.
that California would
Mhm.
be sticking their nose in that. But okay, go on.
Yeah, I'm not sure the reason behind it. I just don't know. It doesn't make sense to me either,
Yeah.
right?
It's like,
But
how
that's
are
what
you
they're
going to
calling it.
prove that? That's interesting. It's like
Well,
the children being held
mhm.
in some kind of shadow of the parents. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
kind of weird.
it's
Okay, go
almost
on.
like it's almost penalizing it's almost like penalizing a first time buyer because their parents own a house.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
but the key thing with this is let's say it's two buyers buying a house for first time buyers. If one of the parents owns a house and the other one doesn't, then they still qualify.
Oh, wait, okay,
As
hold
long
on.
as long as one of the parents of the buyers don't own a house, they're eligible for the first generation buyer.
So if their parents aren't married,
Let's say you have a husband and a wife. The wife's parents own a house and the husband's parents don't own a house.
oh, okay, okay,
Now they're still eligible. Kind of
okay.
weird, right?
I think they need to revisit this whole parent thing, but here we are, it's coming to
Yeah.
fruition. Okay,
Well, I'm thinking that might be the case because there's $250 million available instead of 300 million. So they're trying to limit the availability of the program. Anyway,
right,
this is my guess. Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk about what that process looks like.
Mhm,
There's going to be here's the difference. This piece makes sense, but you got to follow the process. We've talked before over the last few years about being the most prepared person in the room.
mhm,
I'm telling you, in this program, if you're not the most prepared, you don't stand a chance. So we
mhm.
got to have our ducks in a row. And here's what it is. You have to apply for the loan. We have to approve the loan. And then when they open registration for the program, and by the way, that's going to happen in about 30 to 45 days to open registration. Take it, there's a class they can take. It's a free class, which teaches the home buyer about how the program works. That's not required to submit or to register, but it's helpful so that way the buyer knows how that program works before they even get involved. So that's a cool thing there. So we approve the loan. When we open registration, we submit that approval letter to CalHAFA. CalHAFA puts those loan approvals into a lottery system. And then CalHAFA will decide who gets chosen for those funds. Right? Yeah. And then once if they get
a lottery system means that everybody has a number and the numbers are all in a basket and somebody's turning the basket and somebody picks it. Okay, so that's how they're going to choose, right?
Right. And then if they get chosen, they have 90 days to have an offer acceptance.
Okay. Well, this is
Weird,
interesting.
right?
So let me ask you from a loan officer's perspective, okay?
Mhm.
So you could qualify, let's say you qualify 20 people for this, right? And you've got them completely approved, but it's subject to the gift of well, not the gift, but subject to the shared appreciation program from the state of California of their 20% down. Otherwise, they probably can't buy a house, okay? It's
Correct.
they're probably close to, you know, not being able to afford a house. Okay, so you work on 20 people, you get them submitted. We talked about the price of credit reports going up, that you have to pay, well, how much out of your pocket for every credit report?
120, it's $120 now up front for a credit report that we pay for.
Yeah, so you're out
Up front.
$120 times 20 groups of applicants. Okay, so that's what, $2,000 or something.
Yeah.
More than that. And so you submit all those, but maybe just 5 of them will get approved, or even maybe even less, who knows? Wow, that sounds
Don't
like it sounds like this should be a nonprofit's job. You know what I mean? This is like, oh man,
Yeah, in principle, it's a great program, but that's why I say we've got to be very, very prepared.
yeah.
Okay. And there's a certain amount of risk with that. But the good news is if they get chosen, they've got 90 days to get an offer accepted.
So what kind of financing do they get if they get this 20%?
They get a 30-year fixed rate loan through CalHAFA. CalHAFA establishes the rate and cost for those loans. What that is right now, we don't know. They've not released pricing to us yet until they release the program for registration. Okay, but my guess would be, based on the last time, it's going to be a very competitive market rate. So it'd be a pretty good loan. Now, let's look at that 20%. How can they use that 20%? The 20% does not have to be all toward down payment.
Mhm.
The 20% covers everything, so it can also include closing costs. So let's say they put 10% down, or say 15% down, and use the balance of that 20% to pay their closing costs.
Mhm. All right.
Okay, or if they got their own closing cost money, they can put 20% down and pay their own closing costs. So that gives them some flexibility on how to use those funds.
All right. So let's say you get approved, you get the money, you decide how the best way you're going to use the funds is, which you're
Mhm.
really, really good at that, because there's a lot of different ways you can buy down your rate
Structure
or
it.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, the next part is the state of California the co-owner of your house then?
No, they don't own the house. They're just sharing in the equity. So at some point when you sell your house, let's say you took 20%. So then when you sell your house, they own 20% of the equity. You keep 80% of the equity. So you give them, let's say it's $100,000 down payment. Simple numbers. You sell the house in 5 years and you have $100,000 profit. So you have 200,000. Okay. So you pay the state back the $100,000 they gave you up front, then 20% of the gain. So another 20,000. So you pay them back 120,000
Mm-hmm.
and you keep 80.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's better than having no house at all, you know?
It's a great program. Look, I mean, if you haven't got the cash and let's say it takes you 5 years to save that kind of cash, well, heck, buy the house in 5 years. You're going to have lots of equity and you can go someplace else with that.
Right.
And plus the tax benefits of owning that for that 5 year period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, there is no limit on how long you can own the house. You can own the house for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the catch. If you refinance the house, that's when you've got to pay it back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you
Yeah.
sell or refinance or transfer title in some way, you've got to pay it back.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully not if you like transfer your title into your trust or something.
No, that's different.
Hopefully they'll figure that out. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
when do you think, I mean, is there an estimate on when these funds are going to first be released? Like when people are
They're
going to be
telling
able
us right now they're telling us about 30 to 45 days before the program is released for registration. So I would think first part of March, we should be able to register buyers for the program.
Mm-hmm. So if somebody wants to know more, can you like start processing their information now? Okay.
We sure
All right.
can.
All right, good.
Yeah, that's the best way to go. If they're interested, and if we can put them in, if they get them qualified and approved, I would suggest that we actually get their loan approved right now.
Mm-hmm.
The minute we open registration, submit it, get in the system
Mm-hmm.
right away before the
Mm-hmm.
money's gone. And then
Yeah.
at that point, when they have enough, when all those funds are taken up by the registrations, then they'll do the lottery thing.
Yeah.
Or how many ever they get in. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get well more than the $250 million registered for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of how they choose who's gonna get that piece of it.
Yeah. Hopefully it is a true lottery system. I can't imagine that they're going to go through all of those. I don't know. Okay. So
Yep.
that ends that portion. So I'm going to show you my new listing, because this is a kind of
Cool. I want to
house
see
that
it.
you can buy. Oh, let me see. Hold on. And okay. All right. So I'll start out front. So I'm in East Anaheim. This is a great school district. You've got like Catella and you've got Sunkist Elementary. It's got a nice big driveway. Look at how nice this neighborhood is.
Nice.
Mature trees. We've got a bunch of stuff we're cleaning out here, but look at how cute this is. I think that these owners, I think they were the first or maybe the second owners. They did this nice driveway. See how it's all scored?
Yeah, it's cool.
Even if somebody wanted to add more parking right here, they could fill in this strip and then do, RV parking or that sort of thing. It's got a really cute front. Now this house, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and it's just about 830,000 because it needs a little bit of work. But I don't know about you, probably not you now because you're burnt out on it, but it's nice to just do your own improvements.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
so it's got a formal entry, big kitchen, lots of cabinets, really cool dining room. Look at the ceiling.
Wow.
Two-way fireplace, all new windows, attached garage. So it could use some paint, some flooring. You could put recessed lighting in here. And then it's got a big covered patio back here. Nice big lot. It's about 7,500
Yeah.
square feet. And then,
Nice floor plan.
yeah, it's a really nice, the whole primary suite, they has like a door here. So you can close it off. So that's nice. And big
Mhm.
bedroom and a private bathroom. Yeah, it's really cute. Central air,
Yeah.
central heat. I am really excited about this one because of all the bedrooms and all
Yeah,
the
it's big.
bathrooms. Yeah, especially for that price point. I
Mhm.
think this one, I think they would have it at 829. We just got all of our paperwork done and did sort of a clean out and a dusting, and here we are. So this is an
Yeah.
example of what you can buy when you get your grant going, or your shared equity, I should say.
There you go, for sure. It's a
All
nice
right, Rick,
property.
it's been real fun. So have a good rest of your day.
Here's all, Megan. See you later. Take
All
care.
right, talk to you later.
Okay.